Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Gruul Ponza deck in Timeless format. I haven't casted a Stone Rain in quite a while, so I've been having the itch. So I'm going to be trying out Gruul Ponza with 2 copies of Blood Moon in the main board. The reason for only 2 copies of Blood Moon in the main deck is because a lot of the decks have kind of adjusted to not getting punished by the Blood Moon as much, and at the same time, there's a lot of decks that are also playing the Blood Moon in the main deck. In which case, if you play against those decks, it's going to feel really bad when you cast the Blood Moon yourself, since basically that would mean that you have started with one less card than your opponent. Now, as for the land destruction plan, the only card that we're actually playing is the Stone Rain, because I think that's the only card that is actually playable in this format. But what makes 2 copies of Blood Moon and 4 copies of Stone Rain in this deck very good in this format is because you can technically ramp it into play on turn 2. So I have been experimenting with some mana dorks in this deck, and I have noticed that Utopia Sprawl to be the best card to curve it out into one of these pesky cards, because your opponent won't be able to interact with this Utopia Sprawl. Turn 2 Blood Moon or turn 2 Stone Rain, especially going first, is almost going to be game-winning on the spot, since that means you can ramp into either Minx and Boo in this deck or a Karn to put on some pressure using the Minx and Boo, or Liquid Metal Coating with Karn. And as for Jarsoul in this deck, because you play Once Upon a Time in this deck, that is a 0 mana card if you play it out for your first card, that can bridge the gap between a 1 mana card into a 3 mana card very easily. Now, one last thing to mention is that we are playing a Karn, so we do want 7 card sideboard in the deck, but as you can see, if you play the Jegantha, now you only have access to 6 card sideboard if you're playing best of 1. In which case, I'm going to be playing best of 1, so I'm not going to be playing with Jegantha. So as you can see, if you take the Jegantha out of the deck, you can see that now we have access to 7 card sideboard for the Karn. So having said that, we're going to be jumping into some Timeless Best BO1 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Sure. Man, oh man. I am sickened that that is the deck opponent chose to play today. Very sickening. Oh wait, it's not a leyline deck? Okay. Fair enough. Let's blow that up. I thought opponent was playing Blue-White Geist. And I was very disappointed at my opponent, but now that's not the case, so good for you. Okay. Goodbye, swap. I mean, opponent is probably disappointed in me for blowing up their land. It works both ways, right? Works both ways. Ornithopter. Into a land. They found a land. Okay. I have 4, 5, 6. Why is everything like looking blurry? Like crazy? Like it looks like the colors are washed out.
I've got one butt kicking foot, so now We are large and in charge.
Maybe I shouldn't have attacked, actually. Dark Ritual on my turn? Wait, what? No, opponent. What are you doing? Ooh. We could find a Deathrise Shaman or a Monkey. Or none of those. That also works. Not bothered by it at the very slightest. Okay. I'll just go Stomping Ground. Because I don't want to give them the idea that a Blood Moon's about to come down. It might not even matter, to be fair. Okay. Yeah. That's a problem with Blood Moon in Best of 1. A lot of the times it doesn't really matter. A lot of the times it doesn't even matter. Oh, I made a mistake there. Was there actually a way to do that? Yeah, this was double forest, right? I forgot about my own Blood Moon, but I actually think it worked out because now we get to kill the Loris. Unironically. Non-land police. Okay.
Boo and I are ready to rumble.
I think I'm just going to attack. Even if they do kill the Minx and Boo, I think I'm okay with it. I gotta deal with 2 things here. Okay. That is certainly scary. Triple Dark Ritual hand. Into another Diabolic Intent. Into another Ritual. Wow. That was the most insane hand I've ever seen in my life. It's very unusual to die to a Tendrils of Agony without the use of Breach. That is insane that they were able to accomplish that. Sure. I'm only keeping this because I see double Jar Soul, so it's kind of Thoughtseize proof. Maybe we should It seems like the colors are kind of washed out, right? Like, I don't know what happened, but this update literally messed up so hard. Like, there's like... It introduced like 10 brand new bugs into the system. It's crazy. Hold on, can you play a creature? No? That's incredibly unfortunate. Guess it doesn't really matter. Blood Moon. A Bowmaster. So we got the Blood Moon down, but they do have the Jegantha. Okay, that's apparently enough for my opponent to concede there. Okay, that is a turn to Blood Moon. It's strange that we actually haven't been getting more Stone Rains, but rather Blood Moon, despite us only having 2 copies of Blood Moon. Very strange. Thoughtseize? I mean, I do want to run out the Deathrise Shaman, but... it's probably more important to kill that. Polluted Delta. A Tarmogoyf. A Tarmogoyf. I'm gonna take the damage. Okay, so this is the Orcish Bowmaster. We're gonna take a bit of damage here. But we're gonna be able to set up the Blood Moon. Whereas opponent doesn't have any basics at the moment, so... I'm taking like 3, 4, 5 next turn, but... we're gonna be able to grow our questing druid quite a bit, so... don't really think it's the end of the world. Let's see, I could just run out the Ragavan, or should I hold up the Lightning Bolt? If I was gonna play the Ragavan, I should have just played it and then dashed it. This already dies to Bolt. Maybe I should just have a chump blocker. It seems like they have a Bolt, by the way. So check this out. There's actually no sorcery in the graveyard. So if we do use the sorcery, the Tarmogoyf is going to grow into 4/5. However, if they have a Bolt, then this is actually the play, because I don't want my quest. I want my questing druid to live, basically. So if they want to bolt my questing druid, I can lightning bolt. In which case, this is gonna grow into 4/4. So unironically, although this looks like a misplay, it's actually the correct thing to do. That just happened. The opponent goes to 4. The funny thing is, even if they do get the Jegantha down, they're dead because then they have to chump block the questing druid. So either way, opponent is just dead. Sure. I'm actually kind of digging this deck, by the way. It's pretty sick. Grab a land, please. Ooh, a forest. We don't like to see that. We don't like to see that. And an island! How did they do it? Oh, this is bad. This Blood Moon's actually not gonna do anything. I don't like to see a Cyber Cryptomancer. Uh-oh. Oh my god. What are you doing, opponent? Why are they playing a standard deck here? Oh no. Are you kidding me? No way. I am actually getting farmed. I'm actually getting farmed here.
Fight the good fight. Actually, fight all the fights. Bigger is magic. We have muscle.
No. So many basic lands. Opponent was prepared. So how do we beat these? Does anybody know?
Look at us.
How do we... Oh man. This is ridiculous.
We have muscle.
Yeah, so about that. Maybe we bolt? Okay. Bolt, Jarsoul, bolt. That's 6 damage. And then 7 damage? That's still not enough. I would have to... Oh man. I'd have to get more bolts. Somehow.
with taboo, you get the teeth.
Paradise Druid. Grab another forest. Okay, Unholy Heat. I'm gonna bolt face. Does that do it?
Look at us. We are tough.
That does it. Wow. Wow. Just a hex-proof tribal.
The evil right out of them.
Insane. Okay. This one looks a bit sus. Fetch a mountain at the moment. Wait, am I actually playing against Grixis? Wait, they actually have a counterspell. Wow. That's actually kind of crazy. That's insane. I didn't expect a spell pierce at all. Nor did I expect a breeding pool from them. Like, what? That was insane. So it's 5 colors, I think? I think it's 5 colors? I think it's just an Orcish Bowmaster. I think I'm just going to Questing Druid here. Okay, it's just a removal spell then. Because normally I see Jegantha starting with the Blood Crypt. I totally expect something like...
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me.
Ooh, we didn't get a land, so I can't kill the Oko. The Questing Druid has failed me so. That is so unfortunate. That is crazy. I am very, very sad about that. A bolt. Yeah, that's so sad. I'm very, very sad.
You're blind to your folly. Oh dear.
Okay, we did get an Unholy Heat. They also have a Bowmaster. Okay, opponent, I need you to play a fetch land for me. Can you do that? Fetch land. Juwari? Ain't no way. That was the perfect turn. If I just had a fetch land. Oh, I'm playing as Belcher. Oh, that's fine. Well, it's not technically fine if they have another... Wait, what are they doing? No. Not like this. Not like this. I guess I want land, so I'll just Once Upon a Time. Let's get rid of red land. And we'll do it one more time. Maybe I'm supposed to look for Karn. I do want to really go up on Karn, but I don't know what to cut. That's the problem. Okay, so discard more lands into another one of these. Maybe I should have actually gotten rid of Jawari's Ruin. I don't know. Okay, we're not attacking because I want to cast my Questing Druid. And hopefully we get a threat. Yep, there it is. So we need to find either a Boseiju or I don't know. Something here. It does require 3 mana to activate it though. Now that I think about it. Wait, what? Maybe that's enough. Yeah, maybe that's enough. And also this deck operates with so many tap lands, so yeah. Pretty slow hand otherwise. Uh-oh. Layer? Non-land, please. Ooh, Molten Impact. That is a sweet one. Oh my god. Frickin' Oko, man. Frickin' Oko. I know I can double Molten Impact onto Oko, but I think it's slightly better to kill the Blighted Halfling. Just because they're ramping. And hopefully we can Karn into Pitting Needle, the Oko. I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
I invite you to change your ways.
So we weren't able to ramp this game, which is quite unfortunate. Demonic tutor for a land? Maybe? Yep, it looks like that's exactly what they did.
I think a little merriment is in order.
Kinda hoping this actually gets the job done here.
Who says you look easy to wallop? Bigger is always.
I didn't want to go Karn because it's just going to get killed by Yoko. Ah, they had everything. I guess I should mulligan until I see one drop. Blood Moon. I guess I just go Utopia Sprawl into Blood Moon. Call it a day. How does this, like, how do you beat this? Unless you Thoughtseize on turn 1. Like, I feel like you can't beat this. Don't you just lose? Because, like, unless you have, like, all the basics. I even have a backup plan. Pretty nasty. Cavern of Souls. Okay, opponent had enough. I think we can work with that, but it's a bit slow, I would say. I say that, but we get a Stone Rain. Very cool. Seems like we might be dealing with the same deck. Or a very similar one. Guess I'm just going to blow that up. That's the strength about Utopia Sprawl. So good. I will go Karn.
Let us begin. I will not lose another friend.
Nice! I was actually kind of scared of a bolt. This is why I'm like against no put mana. I don't really generally like putting the Karn down here. Because they could have a bolt here, and then if you grab a liquid metal coating, you kind of like lost a lot of value of the Karn. Like, my god. I feel like turn 2 Stone Rain is literally the greatest feeling in this game. Like, it's so unreal how good it feels. It's wild. Like the Wild Nikado. Okay, Utopia Sprawl was an incredible draw. So they played a snow-covered forest first. Which probably means I actually need to play... a bolt or something like that. Because against a domain deck, you don't want to play Stone Rain against this, right? So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play out the Ragavan, and I'm just going to Questing Druid or Bolt. I'll just Bolt. Sure. I kind of misplayed using the Deathrise Shaman. Because I thought I was gonna Stone Rain, but that was actually the wrong play. But I can still use theirs, so never punished. So this turn's gonna be quite nasty if they play like a Kavu or something. Okay, it's a Bowmaster. Very unfortunate, actually. Very unfortunate. It was actually that one. I guess I Stone Rain and then leave up a Bolt. Oh, wow. What a draw. That was actually insane. Guess this is a free attack. So I'm not going to be playing the Ragavan out in case of another Bowmaster. Okay, they played a Bolt into another Brawler. Okay, this is great. Into a Tribunal Flame. Well, that's not going to do anything. Wow, that's a lot of creatures opponent just played. Questing Druid Chain, huh? Wait, what? That doesn't work? Okay, I'm so sad. Yeah, I'm pretty sad about that. I just lost a ton of value. Very, very sad. Oh. Okay.
I will fight you, my friend. My allies are counting on me.
I think it's Worm Coil Engine. Okay, another Bolt.
I have let my friends down.
That is pretty hot. Because then, like, future binding isn't going to do anything. I just need to draw land and we're really good. It also makes their Tribal Flame really bad. So we also found a land. What? A Bloodbraid Elf? Excuse me? That is so strange. What is going on? Yeah, what is actually going on here? What? I think we won. What? Okay. I thought they were gonna kill the questing druid for sure. What is going on? A Thoughtseize? Wasn't I playing against Zoo? What happened? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Opponent was playing the spiciest Zoo I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so we went 9 and 5 with this deck in best of 1. However, but I will have to bring the unfortunate news. The win rate for going second is really bad. And the reason for why that is contrary to going first. So if you go first a lot, chances are you're going to be able to win a lot with this deck because casting Stone Rain on turn 2 or Blood Moon is almost unwinnable for the opponent. And that is especially true if you curve a Utopia Sprawl into one of these. Because this is really hard to interact with. Whereas Deathbright Shaman, on the other hand, chances are your opponent does have a removal spell, so it's not going to be as good. What can I say? Like, you've seen it in multiple games where this happened and they couldn't play the game or the Stone Rain. Now, if opponent is smart, they're not going to fetch until it's your end step. But if opponent played a non-fetch land, well, that's it. There's no hope. There's no hope for the opponent. So, couple things to mention before I go. I did have fun. And unfortunate thing about playing the Karn in this deck is that you can't play Jegantha. Because if you play Jegantha here, what's going to happen is it's going to replace one of your sideboard slot. So you're not going to be able to play 7-card sideboard in best of 1. Now that's not going to be the case in best of 3. So I suggest you put your companion here if you're going to play this in best of 3. But as you can see, the Jegantha has completely taken over. I don't know when this happened. So I don't play best of 1 that much. So I don't know when this happened, but Jegantha takes over your 7th card slot for your best of 1. So if you're going to be playing Karn, I suggest you not playing the Jegantha. That's why the Jegantha is not there. And in best of 3, there's an extra Pithing Needle to bring into the main board versus something like versus Necropone's decks. And speaking of Necropone's, this deck is probably really bad versus Necropone's decks. Because not only does this deck doesn't put that much pressure, rather the deck is trying to tempo off of having opponent missing a land from Stone Braining. Against Necropone's deck, even if you do Stone Rain, they're just going to draw a million cards, and since you're not putting on that much pressure, they can draw with Necropones as much as you want. So that's the downside of this deck. So if you're playing against a lot of Necropones decks, I don't recommend you playing this unless you really like destroying opponent's lands. And then Once Upon a Time is very sick Very, very nice with Jar Soul because this is a 0 mana card if you start with this card. So this just goes into the graveyard. So as soon as you cast a 1 mana spell, Jar Soul now has a way to get to the Stone Rain. So that's why we see 2 copies of Once Upon a Time there. Otherwise, I wouldn't really play it. But overall, very fun deck if you like destroying lands, in which case I do. So try it out if you're a fan of land destruction. And with that said, I'll be signing out, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye.